Jawo Oil Company stands tall as a trusted name in energy, keeping the Gambia moving with service stations across the country and a commitment to innovation and reliability. In Farafenni, Jawo Group is reshaping our industrial landscape. The Jawo Oil Cement Factory can produce up to 100,000 bags a day, reducing imports, creating jobs, and building a stronger Gambia brick by brick. And in the heart of the Central River region, Jawo Farming Initiative is cultivating food security. With thousands of hectares under development and modern irrigation, Jawo Farming is turning the Gambia's soil into abundance. Jawo Group is more than a company. It is a vision of self-sufficiency, resilience, and progress. The Jawo Group of companies, investing in industry, agriculture, and energy, building the Gambia's future today.
Santa Yala.
Nga xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay nag doo ci yokku dara.
If the world hasn't stopped moving, your money shouldn't slow you down. With Bloombank Africa, you are always connected, wherever, whenever, in many ways than one. So whether you're sending funds to family, paying for goods and services, settling bills, or just making sure you've got some cash at hand, Bloombank puts speed, simplicity, and security in the palm of your hand. Transfer funds between your Wave or AfriMoney account and your Bloombank account anytime, anywhere, because your money should flow at the pace of your life. Visit your nearest Bloombank branch today to link your account. Bloombank Africa. We make it happen.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap. All in one. All for you. Tap in. Zap in.
A group of former presidents of the Gambia Press Union have issued a powerful joint statement warning that a draft national press accreditation and proposed broadcasting and online content regulation risk recreating the very architecture of control that once silenced journalists, exiled others, and cost lives. At the same time, one of those past GPU presidents, in a separate commentary, raised concerns about President Barrow's recent comments on the Middle East conflict, questioning whether the Gambian leader, in his role as OIC chair, offered the balanced and principled voice expected of him. Well, these two interventions, one about the shrinking space at home, the other about the clarity of voice abroad coverage into a single national moment, a moment that asks who we are becoming as a democracy and whether the freedoms won through sacrifice are being quietly eroded. Jamba Ali Jawo, or DA, is the one name central to both interventions, and he is here to elaborate on both by answering our questions. Mr. Jawo, good morning, and thanks for joining us again on Coffee Time.
Thank you very much, Aye. I'm definitely glad to be here again.
You and your fellow former GPU presidents described the new policies as a return to permission-based journalism. What, in your view, is the single most dangerous element in these proposals?
Okay, as you know, there are two pieces of, whether you call it legislation or whatever, which the government, proposes introducing. One is called the National Accreditation Policy, and the other is the Broadcasting and Online Content Regulations 2025. So you see, in both of these, there is this element of control and registration, which definitely concerns us very, very much, because if you bring that element of registration within the journalism field, then it appears, there is an attempt somehow to, control what the journalists do, and we are definitely concerned about that.
You lived through the era when accreditation, licensing, and security vetting were used as control tools. Tell us more about that experience, and if I may ask, what echoes of that period do you hear in these proposals?
That is definitely quite a lot of it is contained in these proposals, because we fought so hard to bring the Gambian media to where it is today. And any attempt, any kind of semblance of trying to take us back to those old days, definitely, it's a big, big worry to us. That's why we came up with this. Because, we feel that what we have fought so hard to obtain, we just can't sit down. People like me, we are already retired. I have no amount of draconian law will affect me because I'm not in active journalism right now. But I cannot sit down and watch, what we actually fought for and brought to this stage being eroded, by whatever means, because that we are concerned about young journalists like you. You definitely need to be given the freedom to continue. And what we have achieved so far, we definitely cannot find, we cannot see it being eroded. And that would be very, very unfair. So that's why we got up and made our voices heard.
The Minister or Ministry of Information says these policies are administrative and meant to professionalize the sector. What do you think is driving this renewed impulse to regulate who qualifies as a journalist?
Well, that is our very concern as well, because, as far as we are concerned, the Gambian media is going on fine. There is absolutely no need for government intervention. We already have the Gambia, the Press Council of the Gambia, which is doing exactly what these two pieces of legislation seek to do. They are regulating the media. They are, doing all those things. I think what the government needs to do is just to empower the council rather than creating its own version of the council, because that's what it seems, bringing all these things and kind of assigning Pura to be registering or deregistering. And as far as we are concerned, Pura does not have the professional capacity or even the means to be able to do to regulate content. It definitely cannot do that. So they shouldn't try that in the first place. I think what they could do is definitely let them empower the press council, and everything will be fine.
You argue that the Media Council already provides a credible self-regulatory framework. How is the council doing this, and what would strengthen that system, in practice?
Yeah, in reality, the council exists and it is doing this work, but it lacks the capacity to actually do it as much as it could have done. So what we want expect the government to do is to help empower the council so that it can be able to carry on its regulatory work as well. The council has been doing it because what they've been doing is, they've been listening to complaints from the public, against the media or vice versa. And, they've been making judgments. Well, they've been making decisions on those issues, and it's been going on fine. So all that we definitely need is just to the empowerment of the council. And it can only be done by giving them the capacity to be able to do their work. That is all what we need, definitely not government intervention.
Do you see these proposals as isolated administrative missteps or part of a wider pattern in how the state is relating to dissent and public scrutiny?
Yeah, I mean, it would not be maybe easy to see the connection between that aspect, of it and what they are doing right now. But as I say, it's quite worrisome. And we all know that the media in particular is more better self-regulated than being the government intervention in it. It doesn't work that way. So what we expect the government to do, I mean, definitely not to go into that area of trying to regulate the media. I mean, asking for the registration or kind of policing the media to such an extent. That is not exactly what we expect from the government.
You've also commented on President Barrow's recent remarks on the Middle East conflict. What, in your view, was missing from the president's statement?
Well, as chair of the OIC, I expected him to be more even-handed in the way he has handled the situation. But if you listen to his statement, it appears he was more concerned about what was happening to the Gulf states than to actually what happened to Iran. And we all know that Iran was the one that was aggressed on by Israel and the United States. So what he should have done, I think, the very first day that they hit Iran, he should have issued a statement, condemning that aggression. That is, but he didn't do that. And he only waited until after Iran has retaliated against some of the Gulf states. Then he came up with this idea of sympathizing with the Gulf states of what they are going through. I think it was good. They deserve some kind of sympathy, but I think it wasn't even-handed. That's what I think.
As chair of the OIC summit, what kind of posture should the Gambia be projecting in moments of international crisis?
Yeah, I mean, as chair, he is definitely the political head of the organization, as the head of state, chair of the head of state forum. So in that particular instance, for example, anything that happens within the OIC, especially among member states, I mean, he should be among the first to raise his voice and kind of try and provide some solutions rather than being seen to be siding with one side of the other. Because Iran is definitely a very, very significant member of the OIC and is a founding member as well. So you cannot ignore Iran, whenever the OIC is mentioned. So he should always be very balanced in the way he treats these issues, even if it involves OIC members or more than two in this particular instance. We know the Gulf states, are not directly probably involved in the aggression, but the very fact that they have hosted American bases there, and there is an element of collusion between them and the United States and Israel for attacking Iran. So that is why.
Your statement warns young journalists not to assume their freedoms are permanent. What do you want this generation to understand about the fragility of press freedom?
Well, let them look at the past, how we got here. We all know what has happened in this country. Journalism was very badly treated in this country, particularly by the previous government. And we fought so hard to achieve what we have achieved so far. And probably some of you young journalists may not have been witnesses to all that struggle, but the very fact that we have reached this level and the Gambian media has been operating very, very, very well in the past few years or so, I think the young journalists should be very vigilant, that it is not as permanent as they think it could be. It could be reversed at any time. And these are the sorts of things that would actually take us back to the past. And we definitely don't pray. We don't want to see that happen again in this country.
If you had the opportunity to advise the government directly, what would be your clearest recommendation for avoiding a slide back into restrictive media governance?
Yeah, I think whatever they intend to do, let them consult with the media. You have the Gambia Press Union and you have other, media organs as well in this country and out of this country, who are ready to, cooperate with the government to ensure that the media, scene is quite friendly to everybody. I mean, so rather than sitting down in their offices and coming out with pieces of legislation that they, which some of it definitely the intention probably is good, but the outcome may not be as palatable as possible. So they should consult with everybody else. We all know that, there are constraints on all sides. I mean, the media needs, we have not reached the zenith of what we are aiming to achieve, but it has to be gradual, and only through consultation and probably doing things in tandem that we can be able to achieve that objective, but definitely not one side trying to control the other one.
You call on civic society or civil society to recognize that an attack on press freedom is an attack on civic space. What kind of response do you expect from CSOs at this very moment?
Well, yes, as I said, when we say press freedom, we are not talking about freedom for journalists. We are talking about freedom for the whole society. I mean, so we expect civil society and everybody else within the society to be concerned about these little things. Because, I mean, when there is no free press in this country, definitely everybody would be affected. Because, I mean, people have the right to express their views. You don't need to be a journalist to express your views. And when that aspect is curtailed by law or by whatever means, it will affect everybody else. So we expect civil society to be definitely very proactive in this particular issue as well.
Finally, Mr. Jawo, what gives you hope, even in moments like this, about the future of media freedom in the Gambia?
I am definitely very, very hopeful, because we all have seen how the Gambian media has risen. I mean, for example, there was a time when we have this, what we call this annual press freedom index. Gambia used to be at the rock bottom of, every report. But, recently, after we have some changes and other things, we have seen that Gambia has risen to maybe among the first 10 in Africa, for instance. And, we want that kind of thing to continue. It's our pride as Gambians to see Gambia shine in certain aspects as well. But, this kind of legislation is definitely not going to help in that. If it continues like that, then definitely I have absolutely no doubt that we are going to slide backwards again, and we don't want to see that. We want us to continue from where we are. To greater heights, higher heights, rather than sliding backwards just because somebody thinks that this is what needs to be done to control the journalism aspect.
Mr. Jawo, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Aji.
And that was veteran journalist and former president and minister to the Barrow government and the GPU, respectively, Temba Ali Jawo, also known as D.A. Jawo.
Jawo Oil Company stands tall as a trusted name in energy, keeping the Gambia moving, with service stations across the country and a commitment to innovation and reliability. In Farafenni, Jawo Group is reshaping our industrial landscape. The Jawo Oil Cement Factory can produce up to 100,000 bags a day, reducing imports, creating jobs, and building a stronger Gambia brick by brick. And in the heart of the Central River region, Jawo Farming Initiative is cultivating food security. With thousands of hectares under development and modern irrigation, Jawo Farming is turning the Gambia's soil into abundance. Jawo Group is more than a company. It is a vision of self-sufficiency, resilience, and progress. The Jawo Group of companies, investing in industry, agriculture, and energy, building the Gambia's future today.
Vif lay fee.
sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
the world hasn't stopped moving, your money shouldn't slow you down. With Bloombank Africa, you are always connected, wherever, whenever, in many ways than one. So whether you're sending funds to family, paying for goods and services, settling bills, or just making sure you've got some cash at hand, Bloombank puts speed, simplicity, and security in the palm of your hand. Transfer funds between your Wave or AfriMoney account and your Bloombank account anytime, anywhere, because your money should flow at the pace of your life. Visit your nearest Bloombank branch today to link your account. Bloombank Africa, we make it happen.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.